evening and welcome to I Am Piscataway. This is Tuesday, January 8th, and we are on the air live. If you'd like to speak with me or my guests, please call us at any time during this hour-long program at 732-562-2305. Our guests tonight are Freeholder Kenneth Armwood and Piscataway Councilman at Large Kapil Shah. Freeholder Kenneth Armwood is a lifelong resident of Piscataway. He began his political career on the school board at the age of 19. He later served on our Township Council for 9 years and was pivotal in renovation of the Quibbletown Park. A freeholder for the past 6 years, he chairs the county's Business and Development and Education Committee. And welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Kapil Shah is in his first term as at-large council member in the Township Council, a local business owner in Piscataway. He was a library trustee for many years and a graduate of the Citizen Police Academy. Councilman Shah continues to serve as the Recreation Advisory Board, as well as the Council's Public Works and Personnel Committees. And welcome back, Kapil. So it's the new year, 2019, and both the county government and the Township of Piscataway will have very active agendas moving forward on behalf of the residents of Piscataway. And I thought it would be great to have our county freeholder, Ken Armwood, on. We're lucky Piscataway Township has representatives on the Board of Chosen Freeholders, given the fact that there's only 7 freeholders throughout the county, which is well over almost 800,000 people. And we're fortunate in that respect. And that goes back to the long line of past folks residents of Piscataway Township who were members of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, going back from Dot Powers to Camille Fernicola to our Millie Scott, who was before she was elected as the county sheriff. So we've been very fortunate in that respect. So maybe, Ken, maybe you might want to mention, like, the department, how the county's structured and or the committees, what's in your purview of jurisdiction, because Board of Chosen Freeholders county government is run a little bit differently than the local government.
Sure. Well, mine in particular is business development and education. So within that, you have the workforce development, you have the business development side, you have arts and history. All of that goes into the business development because it's all tied into it. And of course, education with the county college and the VOTEX and academies that we have here in the county. So all that ties in to how we help support our businesses here, help support our residents who are looking for employment.
And that's a good thing. Say I know they're in a state that there's always still businesses that are always looking for employees, so to speak. And when you say workforce development, what does workforce development mean?
Well, it means making sure that our residents are best prepared for whatever the latest technology and latest industries are that are going out there, so that we can attract those businesses and let them know that we have the intellectual capital here in Middlesex that they need so that their businesses can prosper. One program that we have that's excellent, and I would encourage all of the residents to take advantage of, is a program called Skill Up Middlesex. If you go to our website, they have thousands of programs that can enhance your employability. You have to pay for some of the certifications, but the classes themselves are online and they're free. So people who are looking to get skills in different areas, increase their employability, they can go right on our website to Skill Up Middlesex.
Well, it's interesting. I know with Councilman Shah being a small business owner, it's very interesting now from what has changed over the last 10 years when the employment market, where prospective business owners and companies actually before, instead of having an in-person interview, you actually have to go online and fill out. They want to see if you actually have the skills before you even get a step to the door, before you do an actual live interview.
Sure. And you're also seeing now, I think there have been recent articles about the transition now from needing a college degree to actually looking for people who actually have the skills that are needed. So no longer is it necessary to have the college degree. A lot more young people are choosing the vocational route rather than going straight to college.
And go ahead, Councilman, you were going to say something?
The same thing, like you can do the job or part-time job with your education online. So you can just build up your skill. Sure. And the skill, if practical, is more than a degree right now, look like. Any company looking for the job.
I think it's very interesting now that the trade schools, which is part of workforce development, is actually in high demand. You know, when I was growing up, I mean, you know, parents always thought that, you know, the best way for their sons or daughters to get ahead in life is to get a 4-year degree or, you know, a master's or even a PhD and then go out into the workforce. And you have to look at what's been happening nationally over the last 10 years with the amount of cost of higher education in total, where people or students are coming out of universities with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and they're actually just working for minimum skill jobs, where in reality is that they couldn't have got that at a county college. Right. The same thing, and then be like $100,000s of dollars ahead of the game.
Well,
I mean, it's a whole new paradigm
sure,
out there.
right after healthcare,
Yeah.
our next crisis will be student debt, student loan debt. And with the great county college that we have in Middlesex County, I would encourage people who are looking for quality education. You're not shorting yourself. Middlesex County is an excellent county college, so I would encourage them to take advantage of that or take advantage of the county schools that we have within the county.
I mean, as you know, 2 of my children have graduated through the county college,
Sure.
and, you know, are enjoying starting their careers and things like that. But you know, I highly recommend moms and dads, you know, if you can send your kids to the county college, and then, you know, I know if you ultimately want to go to Rutgers or something like that, as long as you maintain certain grade average, sure. They have an automatic acceptance into the university.
Sure, and with the county college, you can also get through a lot of your prerequisites. So
why you're not paying top dollar
right.
for stuff like that? I mean,
right. Yeah.
I mean, in hindsight, you know, I know myself because I went 4 years at Rutgers. I'm thinking, you know, and I paid for the education myself with GSL loans, and I'm thinking, you know, maybe I should have went to the county college and got all the other ancillary prerequisite courses out of the way, and then matriculated at the university. You know what I mean? Would save some money. I mean, granted, the loans at that time when I was going to school, you know, 30 plus years ago, are nothing what it's like it is today.
Right. I did the same thing as you, but smarter people took the other route.
Yeah. But you know what? I strongly encourage, you know, as much as it is to get accepted into, you know, a 4-year school. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going to a two-year school and then jumping over into to a 4-year to finish out. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to know the difference that you went to a 2-year school. You know, when your graduation diploma, it says the school that you get the 4-year degree with.
Right. I look at people who go the county route as being very smart and being fiscally smart, because they're going to get through those prerequisite classes that you have to take anyway. You're going to have to take an XPOS English. You're going to have to take a math class. Why not take it for cheaper? Why pay top dollar for that?
It just blows my mind with some of these students that are coming out. Thinking if you end up going off to medical, I mean, they're like $300,000-$400,000 in debt out there. I mean, then you wonder why the medical industry is, you know, charges so much, because it all goes back to the education. It costs so much to get that. And
I'm a father of 2 kids.
Yeah.
My younger one, he finished the Rutgers, and then he went for the UCLA for PhD.
Yeah,
it's all 9 years.
Yeah.
Now he's paying all the loans.
Yeah.
I don't know when he finished.
Yeah,
but it's a long way.
You know, and you hate to see like a young student out there. It's almost like that prevents them from, if they ever want to get a house, because they had to. And by the way, as a philosophical, student loans are non-forgivable debt.
Oh yeah.
It's not like you can declare bankruptcy and it goes away. It's the only loan I think out there that's non-forgivable.
And interest is not a market value; it's higher than that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't envy anybody in like my kids' age group, or you know the millennials that are going through this at all. I just can't fathom.
It's scary to think that it could deter some young people from seeking higher education.
Yeah, and you know, but with that being said, you know, you're seeing more and more, and you see definitely at the county level, more people going to the trades.
Right.
And it's not like, the old days they considered trades a carpenter or, electrician or a plumber, and that's still obviously trades. But now in this day and age, it's people who know operate computers and or using machines that actually are computer generated to manufacture a product.
Right. High-tech manufacturing is in demand. And you see a lot of people who are going back to get educated in that, who had experience in the manufacturing sector,
Sure.
but they're going to go back now and learn the high-tech aspect of it. So,
And as Kapil knows, as a small business owner, one of the things that we see when companies are looking to move into Piscataway or Middlesex County in general, first thing they do, they pick up the phone, they call the town or the county economic development, say, hey, what's the workforce development like? What's the education, range in your community? If we move here, are they going to be able to operate machinery that requires a lot of knowledge?
Right.
And or we'll be able to train people to operate them. That's a big part of the business decision with these companies that are moving in New Jersey and out here. We're in competition with other areas because of that fact.
and we're fortunate that our populace is very highly educated. We can't guarantee jobs for just Piscataway residents. That's ridiculous. But a business who's relocating here, at least they have a circle that they can look at, which is about county-wide or a neighboring county. So if someone's next door or within the county and a business were to relocate to Piscataway, we can look at that total population as far as what their education level is and their ability to contribute to that business.
I mean, there's a segment of some folks in society who say, well, with these companies coming in and they're going to pilot, or that they should be forced to hire Piscataway or Middlesex County residents only. You can't do that. I mean, just.
I've heard people say that, and some of those people I've seen who are actually in charge of businesses, who are some of the biggest employers, and they don't solely hire Piscataway residents. So it's ridiculous to think that a business would only hire Piscataway
or
residents.
coming from a certain town or county.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
Still, we are fortunate. Last year, we put in a newsletter, the cardboard company in Washington
Cascade.
Avenue, Cascade. They offer, okay, you put in a newsletter. If anybody interested, they can come forward first. So they have a first chance than other people.
Yeah, and they did hire
Piscataway
people.
Right.
And they also, you have like in trades over there off of Kenneth, which is doing the NJ Transit cars.
Yeah.
We
Same
got
thing,
Piscataway people that are working over there.
And Best Buy also 15 to 20% is Piscataway residents.
That's right.
Right. And I know last time I spoke to one of the representatives from Kenneth, they couldn't get enough welders.
That's right.
So when we're talking about the trades and the value of that skill and that knowledge, that vocational skill, they couldn't hire enough people to weld for them. So if you're a welder out there, I would highly encourage you to get in touch with them.
And that also goes back to, I believe, the county vote techs under your purview, your committee. It all goes back to the vote tech system.
Right.
And maybe you might want to explain if there's some folks that never heard of what the county vote tech system is.
Well, we have top-notch county vocational technical schools. These are schools where the primary focus is on the vocational attainment. However, they do offer academics within the schools. Fortunately, our vocational schools have changed and dramatically restyled how people think about vocational schools. I know when I went to high school, vocational schools were thought of as the place where you went if you couldn't make it in high school.
Or you couldn't get a high school degree.
Right. Totally not what's going on in these schools. These are top-notch schools.
Or people who are students who may have weren't geared towards maybe going to a four-year college degree.
It's not what's happening in our vocational schools. They're highly competitive. You have a lot of students from around the county who just want to focus. They want to be able to focus on a specific area, and these schools are top-notch. I mean,
and a lot of it has to do now with the private sector and just in general use of robotics.
Right.
And computers. A lot of it. I mean, we all know. I'm not unashamed to say that. Like, sometimes I go to my kids if something, because the kids have a habit of picking up things a lot quicker. But that's where it's all geared towards. And I'm looking at over at Best Buy. You have part of their building, their packaging is all run by
yes.
robots.
Robots, yeah.
That are
Small
that
packing,
are
yeah.
programmed and operated by individuals over there.
Right. And you now have drones in
Yeah.
warehouses where people are operating the drones in order to help speed things up. This Christmas season, I know a lot of people got things from Amazon.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
You wanted it delivered
Yep.
in one day. That's how they speed up the
Instant
process.
society. Everybody wants it within 24 hours or less.
Exactly.
But go ahead, Council.
Easy for inventory also for them from drone in a warehouse. How much they have leftover material there.
You're right.
But, it's just the dynamics, because I remember, in the 70s and 80s, when I was going to school, is that was considered, they were just going to go into the, construction, industry or something like that. But now, the county vote tech system has kept up with the times, and it's not, it's still doing the traditional trades, but more importantly, it's in the manufacturing.
Right.
And right now, it's teaching students in the manufacturing end because, a lot of these companies, as you have $1 million, couple $1 million pieces of equipment that require programming and computer skills to operate these things. You're just not going to take somebody off the street there.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. So,
Right.
and I think that's one of the things I think that the county as a whole has going for us with the business development end is that because, as you said, a highly educated workforce, you have basically, like in Piscataway, you could start out in pre-K and go all the way up to get a PhD in engineering, medical or whatever field right here. We're one of the few towns where you can actually never leave the town and actually get a degree there.
Right. We're fortunate, and that's why we actually feed off of that. Having Rutgers right here and Middlesex County College, the professors who are here. There's just a high focus on education in our town. So
that's just good. And right now we're going to go to our first video. Let's go to the video tape. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Mayor Brian Waller, and I want to welcome everybody to the swearing-in ceremony of the 4 Ward Council people here at the January 4th, 2019 ceremony, as well as the Municipal Government Reorganization meeting.
Please put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand, and please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Steve Kahn,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear
that I will bear
true faith and allegiance
true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments
and to the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
justly,
justly,
and impartially
and impartially
perform all the duties of Councilwoman for the 4th Ward, Township of Piscataway,
Councilwoman of the 4th Ward of Piscataway,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah, just a few comments. It's such a pleasure seeing you all here. Each time I look out there with anything that's going on, Piscataway is a town, and we are together. When you think of the communities, you think of the seniors, you think of the kids and so forth. We are together, and thanks very much to the leadership of this township.
I just want to say it's been an honor and a privilege to be a councilman in Piscataway, this great town, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 years, and there's going to be a lot of great things happening in Piscataway. Thank you.
So I'm really excited to be back on the town council, to be back on the team with a great team of colleagues to work together. And I just want to tell everybody we're here to work for the town, and I thank everybody for the honor and the privilege of being here. Thank you.
I am just one piece of the puzzle of this council that fits together perfectly to make really good decisions for this town. We all bring a little different piece to the puzzle, and we all work so well together and fit together to do the right thing.
But I want to thank everybody for coming out to support them today and throughout all of the year as you have in the past. Piscataway is the greatest. It's because of all the people that we have in this room that serve faithfully and work together. That's the important thing. Thank you for coming, and bless you, and you have a happy new year and a good year, healthy year.
Just as the mayor said, this is the greatest town in the world, and it's because of the team you see behind me and also because of the team in front of me. We're all partners in this, and we're all part of this team. So I thank you, too, for making Piscataway great. And let's have a great 2019. It looks like it's going to be good on the national level, so let's make it good on the local level.
You have heard these people repeatedly say that Piscataway is one of the best towns in America to live, and what you use as independent verification is Money Magazine. Money Magazine on several occasions now said this is one of the best places in America which to live. And I think with the trucks off River Road and the community center and all the other good things that you do in the parks and recreation and keeping our infrastructure up, that they're going to go for the world's record. Money Magazine has never done that 3 times for a town. We're 2 in the record book, and I'm going to make a bet with you, Mayor, that part of the legacy of this fine group of people will be at least being named again as one of the finest. Yeah, a three-peat.
Well, I want to congratulate again the 4 ward council members, Frank Earn, Jim Ballard, and obviously Councilman Kahn and Councilwoman Lombardi on being sworn in this past week to a new 4-year term. It's not easy being a ward council member. I knew that because I was Ward 2 councilman prior to being elected mayor. You take care of the needs and meticulously of the ward, and but the good group of folks there, and their heart's in the right spot right there.
They work hard. Frank, Michelle, Steve, and Jim, of course, they really work hard in their areas. Anytime I know, even as a freeholder, when someone's brought something to my attention, they're very attentive to the residents' needs, and I thank them for their service.
And, you know, there was also a swearing-in ceremony yesterday, I believe. The Board of Chosen Freeholders, you might want to explain who
Yeah, we had the reorganization meeting. Freeholder Director Ron Rios and Freeholder Santi Nara were sworn in again. Freeholder Director was made Director again. And Freeholder Charlie Tamaro was Deputy Director. It was a very nice ceremony. Freeholder Rios, as you know, Freeholder Director Rios is from Carteret. Freeholder Deputy Director Tamara is from Edison, and Freeholder Nara is from North Brunswick. A very nice ceremony.
And she also had Senator Smith swear.
He made a cameo appearance,
yes,
and he did the swearing in for her and administered the oath to Freeholder Nara. And it was very touching because she did have a lot of a family vibe. She had her family there, and she had her spiritual leader who had been with her father, and her father's passed away. He was there to give the benediction, and we've developed a very good friendship along with Freeholder Kenny from Woodbridge. The 3 of us are very thick and tight, so it was very touching to see that and see everyone come out and be supportive of the Freeholder Board and the initiatives that are going on in 2019. It was the same feeling I got being at the swearing in for the Piscataway Council. There's a lot of excitement about 2019, more than I've seen in many years. I know here in Piscataway there's a lot that's on the table that's going to be accomplished. So this is a pinnacle year for our township. This is a pinnacle year for the county. A lot of things that are going to be accomplished. So a lot of excitement in the air.
And we're going to go to that because we have a video feed of one of the items that is going to be coming up very shortly. And now let's go to the video. I want to thank the Board of Chosen Freeholders for putting this resolution on, Resolution 1779 on, concurring with the township's 10-ton, above 10-ton drum truck ban on River Road. This has been 5.5 decades in the making, and it would not be happening without the support of everybody here up on the dais, and of course the DOT Commissioner. And you're going to make a lot of people happy along River Road. And I think this is very fitting that with the county engineer retiring, that he finally saw it through after 55 years. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that was taken, I believe, at the last action meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders for the year, which you were voted upon that, and thank you for doing that. I want to thank the Board of Chosen Freeholders for final concurrence with our actions at the local level. More importantly, now we're working with the county engineering department about the signage location and what the signs have to stay legally. We're hoping to have these signs up in early February, so hopefully by Valentine's Day, everything will be in effect. So I think within the next 2 weeks we'll have the actual location where the signs are going to go. Call for the markouts, get the posts up, and then we still have to have the signs manufactured. And then we have to give the folks that drive trucks, we have to give them like at least a 2 weeks notice time before it actually fully goes into effect. So we're shooting for sometime in February, hopefully. So it depends upon how quickly that the signs can get manufactured. Right there between the county, because the county road department has to manufacture a bunch of signs, and then we have to manufacture signs off of each side street entering in the river, of course. So it's a lot of little teamwork, a little legwork that's involved there. But I think a lot of people are going to be pleasantly surprised by the end of February.
Yeah, I think so. And a lot of the residents on River Road are longtime residents, so this isn't something new to them. Yeah,
they understand the significance of what happened.
Yeah.
And I think they understand that they can wait another month and a half while the signs are being manufactured and things like that. But, I just still can't believe that. I was very appreciative of the commissioner, Diane Scacchetti, for doing what she helped out the town and the county. And it was the right thing to do. And it was a commitment that the town mothers and fathers over the last 5+ decades and successive administrations and mayors and county freeholders have always argued on behalf of the residents in the town that once the Route 18 project would be finished, that they would make it a light traffic street. So, but I do want to reemphasize to residents, though, that there are some businesses that do accept deliveries. So as long as these trucks, if they're over the 10 tons, they have a bill of ladling going to the business, they're allowed to do that, because you can't interrupt interstate commerce. I mean, you have to allow them to have delivery still. So just like Kapil over in the business district over in Stone Road, there's trucks that come in and make deliveries. So
just once in a while, whoever is building or something, material supplier, they just come pass through there, and there is a quick check there.
Yeah, like Quick Check will have to have a delivery to the gas station. Colgate, Palmolive, Colgate have deliveries. So I mean, and you live right in that
but we have
neighborhood there.
Within a month, there is a lot of positive people say really good. Okay, that's finally is done after a long time.
Yeah,
They're
I mean,
happy.
Once the signposts start going up in the signs, and we're going to have the VMS boards out there, and I think Councilman Khan actually wants to turn one of the VMS boards on. So we'll get him out there with a photo turning the VMS boards. So
well, he fought hard for it.
Yes,
he deserves that, yeah.
So I know when after we get running the rabies clinic, I think then we're going to start pulling some of the VMS boards out along the River Road to start letting the folks that do trucks let them know that, in February that this is going to be in effect. So they need to start planning alternative routes for where they may have to make their deliveries. So very, very positive sign. We did talk, and, one of the things I want to jump back to the section that, the county college. What has been the biggest challenge for the county college the last couple of years?
I would say just with all of the economics going on, ensuring that we can still provide a quality education while keeping tuition low. As you know, nationwide, tuitions have been skyrocketing, and we actually have been able to maintain just modest increases to tuition for our county residents while still expanding what we offer to the students who enroll. So I think just staying within the fiscal bounds over the past years, I think, has been the challenge.
I think the campus itself, the actual physical structures on the campus, it's one of the larger county colleges in the state.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. And we've been able to offer our physical plant to other organizations. For example, if you remember a couple of years ago, there was a fire at a school in Edison. Yeah. Yep. We were able to temporarily relocate them onto the campus there, which was great, so the students could continue their education uninterrupted. So it's been a task, but our county staff is top-notch. They worked very well.
And, I think a lot of people have to remember that, the county staff don't only just teach, you have some that are Rutgers professors that actually teach down at the county college.
Right. Right.
They don't just teach in one university setting. A lot of them just love to teach, and it doesn't matter whether it's county college or not.
And they care. A lot of them have expressed how much they care, and they want to make sure that the education there stays at a superior level, making sure that our students have a wide variety of offerings, that we offer diverse programs that reflect the demographics here in Middlesex County. So I can't thank them enough.
No, that's good. We're at this point, we're going to go to our monthly announcements. We have very short monthly announcements. So I want to remind the viewers the annual Martin Luther King Jr. Breakfast will be on January 19th. This is a free event at the Senior Center and is hosted by North Staunton AME Church and the Piscataway Civil Rights Commission. Keynote speaker is Congressman Frank Pallone. And please call North Staunton AME Church to reserve your seats. And we typically have roughly about maybe 150, 200 people that show up there. So it's a worthwhile event. We also have a rabies clinic coming up for dogs and cats in our free rabies vaccination clinic. It will be on January 26th at the Public Works Garage. Chipping will be available at a cost. Dogs must be leashed, cats must be in carriers, and only one per carrier. Also, in the morning, the clerk's office will be open to issue dog and cat licenses. And I will be having my 2 dogs chipped there, right there, my two pup labs. So, do you want to learn more about law enforcement? A fantastic and free program soon starts for residents at least 21 years of age. Piscataway Police Department is again holding its Citizen Police Academy. This is an interactive 13-week program that includes a ride along with an officer. Its curriculum is nationally recognized, and it starts in February with classes each Thursday night, as well as one all-day class on Saturday. And deadline sign-up is January 25th of this month. And Kapil, you went through the Citizens Police. You might want to talk about that.
19th year.
Yeah, that's right.
2-time I graduated from there.
He went to, Councilman Shah went to the first one, which is the 101, and then he went to the 201. Yeah, so he went to the advanced class. So.
And I finished the Sheriff Police Academy there too, Middlesex County. I finished that too. Yeah. Really fun, a lot of education.
And I encourage the adults to do that. I know our county sheriff, Millie Scott, has started an academy like that through the county sheriff's department, and it's a way for law enforcement to stay in touch with the local residents, to have residents understand the law enforcement mentality, what they have to do their jobs, and it's a way of working with the residents. And I've always said, through our chief and through many residents that. If there's not a trust factor between the police department and the residents, it makes it a lot harder for a law enforcement community to serve the community as a whole. Right. And that is critical in this day and age. You see a lot of issues that are going on around the country where there's not a trust factor between the residents and law enforcement. And this is one of the programs that helps residents understand what's in the mind of law enforcement on a whole host of many issues that they face and that you and I would not think of at home. Right. And it just gives you a behind-the-scenes view, and you'd be surprised. You get to know the officers there and the support staff of your local police department. And I strongly encourage, and so do the council members, and I know you did when you were on the Township Council, to have people get to know the local police department, because I firmly believe that the more our police department can get engaged with the community, the better off that they're able to serve them as a whole.
Right, and you remember there used to be a mentality of maybe having just satellite offices and keeping people in an office.
That is
it's gone. Those days are gone.
I mean, you have some people taking shots at myself and the council members. When we had the substation over on West 4th. That is not what policing in the 21st century. That is 20 years, 15 years ago thinking. Now everybody they want everybody, the officers, out in the communities at events like that, to bicycles and to get out in the community. They don't want officers held up in offices, but they know that And because let's just face it, they can write the reports now on a laptop in the cars.
Right.
Why they have to do it? They want them actually physically out on the street to get to know the folks within the community.
Right. There's as many positive interactions that the community can have with our police officers and law enforcement, the better. We want them out there. You want them to be the face of the community, and you want them to know people in the community, and you want people in the community to know them.
Yeah, like the coffee
yearly
and the
two-time, we do the street fair also there, and National Night Out. We have the best for touching the community, and they come out and they meet all the police officers.
Yeah, and you
That
participated
really,
when they have the cops and shops, and also the police officers that go to have coffee at a local diner or one of the coffee houses here in Piscataway. So people, I mean, it's a way of reaching out to the community. So that's a great thing. So one of the big things, like now you also have the arts are involved, and there is a segment of society out there that believe that that is might be considered elitist, but the reason why, and I suspect the reason why the arts is under the economic development part is because it is an economic generator.
It is. You'll be seeing coming in New Brunswick, which will affect Piscataway. This fall, the county made an investment along with New Brunswick into the New Brunswick Performing Arts Center, which is going to be an incredible boom for the downtown area of New Brunswick, which will then affect Piscataway too, as people will stay in our hotels. But that's the sort of economic delivery that it brings is you get people who are staying in hotels. They want to see a play. They're going to visit the local eateries here in Piscataway and New Brunswick. They patronize these businesses. So that's why you invest in the arts, not just for the actual love of arts. It's also the economic effect that it brings.
Yeah, no, I talk with mayors from around the country and then with folks that are tied in with the National Endowment of the Arts, and it is now viewed as not just as something as an elitist type thing, is that it really creates a lot of jobs and employs a lot of people.
Sure.
I mean, you have a lot of stagehands, you have buildings trades that have to construct these stages.
Exactly.
I mean, it has a multiplier effect out there, and I think that I support what the Board of Chosen Freeholders have done to try to make that section of New Brunswick a top-flight arts entertainment area.
Right.
Because the fact of the matter is, if it's not built in New Brunswick, it'll be built someplace else.
Right.
And it'll go to some other part of the state.
Right.
And it's much rather to have. It only seems sense because you have the Mason Grossen School of Arts tied in with Rutgers University, so you have a natural entity that right there that's compatible with the initiative that the county and the city of New Brunswick and the arts entertainment industry is trying to do.
And quite honestly, we got to strike while the iron's hot. We obviously have proven that Piscataway and this area, Middlesex County, is a priority for the state. We've got the Hub Technology Center coming in over there. You see that we were made a priority as far as getting the trucks off of River Road. We've got to strike while the iron's hot. Yeah, people know that our town is run well. The county is run well. We still have our AAA bond rating. Things are going well here.
And we're one step below the county. We're at AA plus stable, which is like that one little, so we're getting there. We're going to go to video number 3, so let's cue it up, and we're going to talk over this one. So it is New Year's in Piscataway, and that means that the Senior Citizen Center is up and running.
Oh, boy.
With a lot of great things going starting this year, even with the crazy hats on.
Okay.
So, but they were out there in style this week, and it's almost like New Year's Eve never stopped. Okay. And I just want to let the record reflect there wasn't champagne in there. It was color soda there with fizzies right there. So just want to let the record reflect over there. I don't want Amy Bauman our director getting in trouble over there. So we also have another video feed. Let's cue that one up too.
But I do want to recognize the 2018 Piscataway Chiefs. There can only be one number one. And it's not just their athletic ability, it's how they perform off the field. And I really thank you, Coach Higgins, for all that you've done for both young men and young ladies, because one of the cool things about this team was there was a young lady who played, and she actually had my old number, 67. So we are very diverse in Piscataway. We're very proud. I'd like to call up the mayor, Mayor Brian Waller, and I'd like to call up Coach and the whole team. Come on up here.
For us at Piscataway, it's a very tight-knit community. Mayor Waller will be on the sideline at many football games. Of course, Freeholder Armwood was there for the championship game. This team this year has pretty much gone beyond anything we've accomplished in the past. Now that they had a bowl game, we went 13-0. And we were the Group 5 North champs, but Saraville was the Group 5 South champs, and we soundly beat them. So we are the Group 5 champs. And the trophy that Austin is holding is the New Jersey 12 #1 school in the state. We were the first team from Middlesex County to be honored with that. The trophy that Marcel's holding is the Group 5 championship. That's the first time that's ever been done. We did it in MetLife Stadium. But more importantly are all the lessons that these guys have learned along the way about teamwork and commitment and all the fine characteristics you need to move on in life. And I am so honored and humbled to actually be here and be invited to this venue. It's something beyond what we thought we'd ever be doing.
First of all, I want to thank the Board of Chosen Freeholders for inviting at your direction to have the team come over to be honored.
Yeah, I don't know if they were expecting as much bragging as I did, but Piscataway High School is my alma mater, and I played for Coach Higgins. And one of the things I talked about was the lessons that you learn from the football field that apply to life, and that the reality is that the majority of them are not going to be NFL players. But there's so much that you learn on the field that you can translate to life, not giving up, the determination, pushing yourself farther than you thought you could, to perform better than you ever thought you could. So it was an honor for me to be able to honor them, and knowing that our team went undefeated, and just I can't say it enough, the #1 public school football program in the state. Right here in Piscataway. I think they were happy when I left the county administration building. I don't think they want to hear the name Piscataway too much more.
But that was a great championship game, though.
Oh, yeah.
The team played extremely well.
Yeah, it was a great season, and again, just to see the way they perform on and off the field, and the fact that we had a young lady involved, that we couldn't just say young men. We had a young lady who played. It was very cool. I liked it.
Well, that's good. Did you say something?
No.
But I can't thank Coach Higgins enough. So, but I would like to bring up. I know the county. We're just going to talk briefly about some of the projects that the county has going in Piscataway. I know for the folks off in the Possumtown area, the county engineering department has started their refurbishing of the Bakeland Avenue bridge over the Ambrose Doty Brook, and I believe it's going to be shut down for about 9 months. So you see the detour signs up there already, and basically they're going to be widening the bridge, and they're going to have sidewalks on that side, and they're doing the piping, so that bridge is now going to last at least 75 years once they're finished with it. But that's a precursor for what's going to ultimately happen out in Bakeland Avenue with the economic development going on out there. The town is going to be reconstructing the entire length, and we got to get Middlesex Borough engaged, because half the sides Piscataway, half the sides Middlesex. We've already had the NJDOT Freight Division already refurbished the crossings right there, the freight crossings right out there in conjunction, and so we're finally, if I can get off the bucket list, the Bacon Avenue reconstructed this year, or started. That has been the worst road in between both Piscataway and Middlesex for a number of years. And We now have South Avenue still underway, under construction. We're hoping to have that finished up by June. That's been a very hard project to do. I know the county reconstructed the culvert bridge out there years ago.
Right.
And then there's also an engineering design for another culvert bridge on South Avenue on the Piscataway January border. So I think that'll probably go after we're finished the reconstruction of the roads. So that's over by Loveguard Street. So. And then a real big project that I think the county engineering department's going to be putting out to bid this year. I know from what I understand through the engineering department at the county that's going to be funded is that the reconstruction of the culvert bridge on Zirkle Avenue off of Mettler's Lane. And that, and as Kapil, Councilman Shah knows, that we also piggybacked off of, and this is one of the unique ways I think the residents need to understand financially, is that the municipal government worked very closely with the county engineering department because we knew that they were going to fix this culvert. So we decided, all right, well, why don't we fix the rest of the road? We'll hire the engineering firm that the county's already hired. And then, when they go to construction, we'll let the county handle the contract. This way our engineering staff doesn't have to handle it. And then, the construction management will be handled by the county for the entire project, right, which is called the economy of scales for both the county and the towns, right? That you're using both government entities to work closely together to effectuate basically a large $3 million project. Actually, from what they're telling me, it's like a $5 million project out there, to something that's going to last, 30, 40, 50, 60 years.
Right, and that's how you foster good government. I mean, that's the relationship that the county government should have with the local towns, is exactly like you see. And I know investments in infrastructure aren't sexy. People don't jump on that when you say that you're redoing a culvert. No one's really jumping up and down. But when you talk about economic development, those are some of the things that businesses are looking at, is the infrastructure. No one wants to relocate a multi-billion-dollar business and your roads are collapsing and bridges
your
are
employees to
right.
Well, that's when it becomes a crisis, right, Councilman? It becomes a crisis when the road is shut down,
right?
Because an issue like on School Street, we're hopefully going to finish that project in Dune. That's a large collector street over there, and we had an incident within the last couple of weeks out on Lakeview Avenue by your business, where we had to shut it down because the road. We tried to work with PSE&G to have the cap, but it looks like now we just did a temporary fix out there to get by the winter, and we're going to have to redo the curbing out there and then do a full depth reconstruction. PS will come and do the cap.
Yeah, because every 3 months they come and digging that better than do one time and fix everything good.
Yeah, we're trying to work with the utility companies. It's all economic development. Last thing I hate to see, and I know that many of the viewership out there has heard me say this before. I hate to reconstruct the road and then 2 months later somebody's making Swiss cheese out of it.
Right.
Yeah. And I know that's not I know the county doesn't want to see that happen when they do their large multi-projects. And by the way, they have a huge project underway right now between Piscataway and Edison on Stelton Road.
Right.
That's, I think, an $11 million project. Right. That is, see, the county, as Ken Armwood knows, there's only so much capital dollars in any given year. Right. And when you have a county the size of Middlesex County, there's competing interests to get that capital dollar, to get those county road networks. In our case, in order to foster economic development, the county road network system is so critical to the town because that tends to handle the most traffic within the community. Thus, that's why they're a county road.
Right.
So you can't attract business if the county road's not in good shape.
And as you know, that road leads to the Edison train station.
That's right.
So.
And you have a lot of residents there that walk or bike to the Edison train station that live in the nearby condos or apartments. So I think it's going to be a heck of a lot safer when that's finished. I think they're talking late summer, early fall. There'll be a ribbon cutting out there for that one. I mean, but I can't wait for when that one's finished. We also have parts of Birch Run Drive where we did 3/4 of Birch Run Drive out there. We're going to do the other full depth reconstruction sometime in the spring out there, probably when the kids are out for spring break. And then Park Avenue, for some reason that pavement just when we did that back in 2003, prior to you getting on the council, and it just never took. So we're gonna fix that, and then parts of Possumtown Road. But more importantly, we have about 5 minutes left. I want to thank the Board of Chosen Freeholders for helping invest into the Piscataway Community Center. As Councilman Shah knows, we awarded a contract here in December to terminal construction to start the community center project. We're expecting to have a shovel in the ground at the end of March once the weather breaks, and obviously there'll be a groundbreaking ceremony, and obviously the freeholders are going to be happily invite them to come to that. But this is a project long overdue in conjunction with the Board of Chosen Freeholders.
Right. I realized when Reverend Saunders, former councilman, was saying at the swearing in that he remembers when he was talking about it during a campaign, and now he's been long off the council. How long it's taken, but it's coming to fruition, and I thank the residents for their patience in it, and the county realizes that this is a vital project for Piscataway. This is very important for our community. It's a long time coming, and we're just as excited to see it get off the ground. I think that was a lot of the excitement that I felt in the room at the swearing in for the council, was really this community center and seeing it finally get built. And I know people who had donated for the brick campaign when it first started.
All the money's accounted for?
All of it's accounted for. And I believe
Despite what some of the comments out there and publicly on the forums allegedly that,
yeah. So
all the names are right there accounted for, and who gave what and everything. We had a lot of anonymous donors too.
Right.
So, but you know what? The end game is we had a pre-construction meeting just within the last week, and they're looking. The contractor's looking to start. They're starting to put their paperwork together and everything, and so they're going to start site work April, May, and then they're expected to start putting steel up in early June and have all the steel up over the summer, and then they're expecting to have the building being closed by December of this year. So then, for the whole winter months, they'll be working on it, and they said that there's no reason why they don't think that they can finish on time in July of next year.
Wow.
July of 2020, I should say.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And 3 swimming pools inside for seniors and kids and adults.
Oh, it's going to be phenomenal. The equipment that we're going to have for basically the fitness center, it's going to be bigger. It's going to be 8,000 square feet fitness center. It's going to be bigger than like an LA Fitness. The equipment, they know what they want, but they're going to wait to order that 3 months out. They know how the layouts are going to be with all the electronics because they want to make sure they have the latest and greatest machines. Right there, but it's actually being fun, And one of the things that we are going to do is that we're going to have a video cam up, so you'll be able to watch on the internet the actual construction going on.
Oh, great!
So it'll be like a timeline lapse, so you can review it. It'll take a couple of shots each day, so then there'll be a timeline lapse right there. So I want to thank Freeholder Armwood for coming on, and Kapil Shah. We're going to close out the show with a video of the year in review, and remind residents that the leaf bags that are out there in the arbor section will be picked up by Friday. After that, you have to bring the leaf bags in throughout the town down to DPW. So with that, we will see you in February.